Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the product that I say I was going to compare with. It is the Ordinary Color Serum Foundation. So this foundation is a very liquidy foundation, and it's quite similar to the texture and kind of like the fluidity of this foundation. So I really want to check out how they compare. So let's check this out. So to prime my skin, I always use the e.l.f. primer. This is a really smoothing primer. I love it. Use a clean fingers, clean hands to like pick up the product and spread it all over your skin. So for my right side of my face, I'll be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, and for my left side of my face, I'll be using the Ordinary Color Serum foundation. So I will shake the bottle. So you can hear that it's really liquidy. And then I will pump this out. As you can see, it's really liquidy and running down my hand. And I will now apply it to my skin using a brush. So at first glance, I'm not loving how it's spreading on my skin. It's a bit more, it's very textury. It doesn't sit really nicely on the skin. And it's kind of very thick looking in the areas that I have a bit more texture on. I don't know if you can really see it, but I'm not really loving how it looks. It's not very smoothing on the skin. It's kind of like settling on my like crease everywhere, and it's very smeary. It will go everywhere. You can't really touch it. So for the next step, I will be using this Ultra HD foundation. Check it out. So two pumps again. It is liquidy, but it has a bit more body. It's a bit thicker, which I don't know. Let's see how it compares. I've tried this foundation already, so maybe check out the review. One thing I can say is that it's a bit smoother. Definitely doesn't have as much coverage as like my other like the other foundation, the Ordinary foundation, but it's looking a lot smoother on the skin. It's very forgiving in terms of like the coverage. No, it's very forgive. The texture and everything of this foundation is very forgiving. So and it's very easy to apply on. It does set on itself, which is really nice. So you can see that my face, there's like a bit of like tone difference. Definitely feel a bit waxier on the Ordinary side, a bit shinier, a bit more glisten, versus this is a bit more matte, a bit more neutral in terms of like how glowy how it looks. Definitely not really extremely matte, but it's definitely not as shiny as the other side. And it's less waxy. the overall look of both foundation is similar when you look like far away, but in terms of like inspecting it closely, there's a bit more texture, especially when I just mentioned that there's a bit more texture where I have like a bit more texture and it doesn't really smooth things out. So for the next test, we'll be using the Laura Mercier powder. This powder, this is their like translucent loose setting powder. I will be using a powder brush to smooth the overall skin. I will use the powder to set my face so that we can check out how this actually looks with powder as summer is coming and it's really warm. After a really light glaze of powder, definitely smooth a little bit of the things out. Um, a closer inspection is that there's still a bit more texture here on the ordinary side, and it's less flattering when compared to like the other side of my face, with the side where I'm using the Ultra HD foundation. For the price that I pay for the ordinary foundation, this it's doing its job, but it's really performing. It is really made for like photograph, television, and everything else. So I'll be putting on some blush, putting on some color on my face to test this out. Does it emphasize like my pores and texture on my skin if I put on other layers of powder and like shimmery powders as well? So I'll be using the Natural Face palette from Too Faced. I will put on some blush first. It doesn't lift off, which is really great. Sometimes when you have a really like bad foundation, the powder could potentially, when you apply it on, it could potentially lift off the foundation, and it's not doing that. So this is a major plus. In terms of smoothness, both like are doing a really similar job. I'm just looking which one is like holding it on a little bit better. But in terms of the color, I think maybe I apply a little bit more on this side, but this side is holding a bit more color than the Ultra HD foundation side. And then we will bronze up using a matte bronzer. Again, I think because it's matte, so it doesn't really have any impact on the foundation just yet. And we will use a highlighter to highlight my face to test out how it goes on my face, how does it impact my like foundation underneath it. So let's go. So after I finish like highlighting my face, bronze and blush my face, I think that the two sides perform really similarly. It's really down to the nitty-gritty detail of like the foundation itself. This side it feels a bit more sophisticated. This side feels a bit more like wonky. It will go wrong if you like use a bit too much, not enough. It's a little bit too liquidy for my taste. It feels definitely like a serum, which I would give credit to them. But however, I think that the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, it's like a gel texture which feels a bit nicer, as well as it the coverage wise, texture wise, longevity wise that I've tested this out, it's a bit, it's way superior than the ordinary side. I couldn't like anything because I've genuinely wear this way too many times, and this one I've just wore like maybe a few, 1 or 2 times. I couldn't really give you like a very detailed conclusion to that. The Makeup Forever HD, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation definitely is like anti-smearing. It's like really transfer resistant, whereas the serum foundation, if you didn't set the foundation, you can just smear that off your face. And the texture wise, it really has a great difference in terms of the texture. It's a bit smooth and nicer, creamier looking on the Ultra HD foundation side, whereas the serum side, you have to really finesse the foundation because it doesn't set itself, and it's really liquidy and streak marks, and it will cling on to your crease of your nose. It will settle on like your pores and fine lines on your eyes. But you're paying a lot more with the Ultra HD foundation, whereas you pay a little less, much less on the serum foundation from the ordinary color. So you really do get what you pay for in terms of both of the foundation. You're not really like paying the name only for the name. You're really paying for like the invisible cover foundation. You're really paying for like the pro coverage, the pro side of like professional side of like TV making, photography, and everything like that. And in terms of this is really for your everyday wear. It's like very basic. It is easy to use. There's flaw, but I don't think that you should really buy this one if you are using a lot of foundation every day. This one is doing a really great job, but I do love this one a lot more than this one. So here is my comparison for the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation to the ordinary serum foundation. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.